Professor Levitsky, aqui no Brasil, a nossa polarização atual tem um componente religioso muito forte. O voto evangélico virou um grande assunto da eleição e virou um voto buscado, muitas vezes à custa de desinformação e fake news. Eu sei que nos Estados Unidos o trumpismo também se utilizou do aspecto religioso como uma ferramenta, como um asset. Queria saber como isso vai corroendo também o tecido social, o tecido democrático, à medida em que valores religiosos são trazidos para a política, muitas vezes de forma deturpada.
Look, religion can have very, very different kinds of relationships with democracy. Religion is a reality in most societies. It's an important component of culture in most societies, and it inevitably is going to have some kind of relationship with politics. There's no fully keeping religion or religious leaders or religious appeals out of politics. Certainly, that's not always negative or bad or dangerous for politics. There are many, many instances, I think particularly in more recent years, where churches, religions, religious leaders, politicians with strong religious beliefs have been perfectly compatible, have coexisted perfectly well with democracy. In fact, the Brazilian Catholic Church has been a pretty pro-democratic actor now for many decades. I think it's done, at least in the last half century, more to benefit Brazilian democracy than it has to hurt it. Now, there are obviously elements of the evangelical movement in much of the West that has aligned itself with a kind of anti-liberal, somewhat authoritarian right, and you see that in the United States, and you see it to some extent in Brazil. You see it in other countries in Latin America as well. I don't know the Brazilian case as well, but in the United States, it's not even so much religion. It's a defense of a culture and a dominant social group, basically white Protestants that founded the United States, that dominated the United States for 2 centuries, literally for 2 centuries, and that were at the top of every hierarchy, economic, political, social, cultural, in the United States for 2 centuries, and that is now losing that dominance. The United States is transforming in ways that there are some parallels to Brazil, but it's becoming a country that is no longer homogeneously white and Christian. It's no longer dominated by white Christians. It is much, much more diverse. And the reaction of white Christians to that change in the 21st century has been hostility, threat and hostility. And so Christianity is being used basically as a tool of reaction to say, well, we want to go back to the country we were before. We want to go back to an America that is white and Christian. It's impossible to go back to an America that is white and Christian. So this is a completely a ludicrous venture, but it's much more about the politics of identity and who we are as Americans than it is about religion anymore. Now, Brazil may be different.